Hey guys, what's going on? It's your girl Joy from Be the Difference Clothing. How are you this evening, guys? I am so excited. And I just can't hide it. Can't you tell? Y'all, it's going to be an amazing evening today. Well, this evening. I hope you had an amazing day. But before we get started, I have to pay tribute to my members. And I see two at least. So we have a member. We have a member. And it's Brooklyn and White Boy. And then we have a member. Woo, we have a member. Woo, and it's Sporky speaking tonight. Vern's YT Shirley John Closet. Her name is getting longer, y'all. Her name is getting longer by the minute. But anyway, for everybody that is here, Terry, Afro, DC World, the other half of Trap Vision 3D, and anyone else that I may have missed, I appreciate you guys for being here. And just so you guys know, this is the second annual YouTube conference. It is We the People Present. And this year's theme is Surviving Life. I would like, and the desire is for everyone who comes up on the screen to share whatever they would like to share. And also for anybody who's out there listening in the replay or even in the chat, that you are extremely uplifted and that you start to overcome some things that you may be going through. If you're not going through anything, that's right. That's okay. But at least you'll be encouraged to keep on moving. Tonight we have wonderful people. If you haven't heard already, it will be Life with Nicole Marie, Vern's Junk Closet, Catherine with Friends, Trap Vision 3D, Zero. And then we also have another person that will be coming on shortly. So I'm not going to prolong it at all. Feel free to invite a few people if you'd like to the screen and to the stream. Again, I appreciate you guys for being here, but I would like to introduce to you guys, maybe for the first time, maybe not, a wonderful person that I met here on YouTube. Her name is Life with Nicole Marie. And, you know, we started challenging each other with mukbangs and different food challenges. Actually, not a mukbang, but just with food challenges and other types of challenges. And she's always been a supporter of Be the Difference. And I believe she has something that we all can definitely benefit from. So she's going to introduce herself, and then she's going to give you a little bit of reasons on why you should be able to survive life. So without further ado, I want to introduce to you guys, maybe for the first time, if not for the second time or more, Life with Nicole Marie.
Bring me to your conference. Oh, yeah, the mic is on. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the conference. Joy, thank you so much for having me here. I appreciate it. Can you hear me? There we go. So anyways, what I have to share with you today, and let me set my timer here. I'm gonna set my timer for about 10 minutes. One of the things in life that I did survive, back in my early 20s, I was homeless on and off for about 7 years. And during that time, there were many different things in my life that was going on, and including drug addiction. And I want people to understand and know that you are not alone if you are in that situation, and you can overcome that situation. The way I overcame the situation was by hitting my rock bottom, and I had no other choice but to seek help and to get out of that situation. There were many things that had, like I said, had taken place during that 7 years. And so I'm just here to say that with all the help that I had received, and knowing my worth and knowing those people were there for me. I was able to rise above that. Some people these days don't have that opportunity, but there are places to reach out to receive and to get help for that. So how I did that was I basically I leaned on my mom, because my mom had been in that situation before, and she helped me rise above that whole situation. So I just want to let everybody know that you can absolutely rise above it. And I couldn't give thanks enough to my mother for being tough on me, for showing me the love that she did, to get me out of that situation. I know sometimes people feel like they're hopeless. I felt it was hopeless. I felt it was hopeless, that I was never going to ever get out of that situation. I felt that I was always going to remain in that situation. And to know that today, what I know today versus what I was going through then, I'm glad that I had those experiences, because it's taught me how to overcome those types of that situation, and I am able to overcome anything else that may come my way. And it's not hopeless. You're not hopeless. You can overcome it. You really can. It was a very difficult situation in my life. There were many things that I don't want to go into too much detail about it, but there were a lot of things that came with it, and I was just really down. I was really down. I felt like I was never going to get out of it, but thank God I did. And anyone can get out of that situation. It's hard. It's scary. It does feel like it's not going to end, but I promise you, it can end. It can end. It really can. I had done a lot of prayer, did a lot of praying, got involved with fellowship, and that also too helped me get through those times. And I know back then, I always felt like it was never, like I said, it was never going to end, but it finally did for me. And it took me about 7 years to see the big picture, because people would tell me, you're worth more than what you're doing to yourself. You are worth more than what you're giving yourself credit for. And I was not giving myself any worth, any credit, any love. I didn't think I was capable of actually being loved. I didn't think I was capable of even loving myself at the time. I didn't think I was worth even saving. But at the end of the day, it took a lot of me having to open my eyes and realize and see that I am worth it. Because had I stayed in that situation, I felt like I wouldn't be here today. I was 27 years old when I finally got out of that situation. I was in that situation at age 20, and I finally had got out of that situation at age 27. It was difficult. It was really hard, but you can overcome those things. And I know it doesn't seem, maybe for some people it may seem like they can't, but they can. You can overcome it. You really can. My life today is great. I have a really good life. I have a wonderful husband. I have wonderful people and positive people surrounding me. And I'm just thankful to God, and I'm thankful to everyone that I have in my life that is here. Because I sometimes do reflect back in those days, and I think to myself, man, what was I thinking? What was I doing? And why did I do that to myself? Maybe there was a reason I had to go through all of that to realize who I was, to discover what kind of person I really am. I wasn't a very good person, I don't think, back then, but I had to learn. I had to learn who I was through all of that. And it shows that you can overcome anything. And if I can overcome it, anybody can overcome it. I have faith in that, and I believe in that. I really do. I know people do struggle with those types of issues, but there's people that can help, and there's places that can help get one out of that situation. And I just want people to know that you are worth getting out of that situation, and you are worth yourself, your self-love and care for yourself. You're worth it. You are worth every ounce of it to give yourself a better opportunity and a better way of life. I was living in Lakeland, Florida at that time, and let me tell you, that was not a good spot at all. Not for me. And it was the people's, places, and things that I surrounded myself with. So again, it's just, I'm so happy that I have my life that I have today. And I'm grateful and thankful. And I never, ever believe that I'm above anything. And of course, and I never believe that I'm better than anyone. I believe we all can work together. And I believe we can all overcome our situations together. And I'm willing to help anybody that is in that situation overcome that situation if they ever needed to reach out to me, and I can actually guide them through that. But anyways, you guys, that's my story. That's my little tidbit I wanted to share with you. I do have plenty more that I will share maybe in the future, but this is one that hits home with me, that I believe could help anybody watching, that could actually see that they can actually overcome the addiction. They can actually overcome the homelessness. You are worth more than the addiction itself. I firmly believe that. I really do. And that's all I have to share for that.
Thank you, Nicole. Appreciate you. I hope you guys were encouraged and inspired by her sharing. And again, if any of you need help in any of those areas, then please reach out to Nicole. Before we end today, I'm going to bring Nicole back up again so that she can give her information if you do need to get any help in that specific area. So Nicole, if you wouldn't mind sharing that, please.
Yeah, so you can reach out to me on Instagram. I have a Facebook page, and also TikTok, and it's Life with Nicole Marie. You can DM me anytime, and I will be gladly to visit with you and help you in any which way I can.
Thank you, Nicole. So our next guest that we will be having this evening is going to be Trap Vision. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you, maybe for the first time or not, Trap Vision 3D.
Yo, what's happening, family? Hey, Nicole, thank you for sharing that, because that was a lot, man. I enjoyed you sharing that. Joy, thank you for having me on here. So let me set my timer. Setting it by watch. Anybody that follow me, man, know I do the watch thing. So I'm setting it by one of my favorite timepieces here. Okay, so I'm originally from Chicago, went to high school in Gary, Indiana. But before that, my life really started in Chicago. And I grew up in a pretty decent family, for what I thought. And I'm gonna just fast forward through everything. I went through a bullying process. So I got bullied a lot during grade school, and that affected me. And I remember losing a good friend. His name was Limas. He was getting bullied by the guys that was bullying me, but they were going home with him. Like, they would follow him home and torture this guy. And one day his dad was a police officer. And I remember coming to school, and they had all the kids in the hallway, and they broke the news to us in the hallway. It's not even a classroom. They just told us in the hallway. They was like, hey, we just lost a kid. He committed suicide after he killed two of our tormentors. And Lyman's, I felt like, was the only person that understood and knew who I was, and I knew who he was. And that broke me in half. I mean, like, it just destroyed me, man. I was in the 7th grade, and went to the 8th grade and continued to get bullied, and ran into a situation to where I had to go to Gary, Indiana. And that's when I found out that the parents that I thought were my parents, I was adopted, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, that kind of just threw everything for a loop. So I spent 4 years of high school just wilding, man, just trying to figure stuff out. And I ended up dropping out of high school, moving back to Chicago after high school. And I worked for about a year and a half. And without a diploma, I could find a job, but I was making like $4 an hour. So my adopted mom would tell me, she said, look, I understand you working, but you're gonna have to do something with your life. And I'm like, all right. So I went to Richard Daley College and got my GED. And it took me 2 months, got my GED, high scores on the GED, to the point where Richard Daley, the mayor at the time, paid for my graduation. And shortly after that, my sister died. And from there, just like I spiraled. I wanted to just like off myself. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this is too hard. It's too much to bear. Uh, just out of a rough relationship. And I joined the Army. And from there, I felt like my sister was with me. I felt like everything I did, I dedicated to her, you know, and I went through that. I switched over from the Army to the National Guard so I could be home more, you know, because I was like, I really don't want to be, you know, attending this service every day, you know. So I came back home and I was doing drills and stuff like that. And then I met my wife now. And that was a transition. So the thing about it, when I first got married, um, it was hard because I had so much baggage from all these poor relationships and not knowing, you know, who my family really was and why was I adopted? Why did my mom give me up? Like, it was a lot of questions. And then I met my biological father when I was 16 and he died 3 months later. And I was like, there's a lot of questions that's going unanswered. So I stumbled my way through life, you know, trying to get these. And I had a bunch of unhealthy relationships. And I did have one buddy of mine that just stood by me, man, a lot. And of course, I got brothers too. But my relationship with people was so toxic. And I still had that fearful, mind you, from grade school, I still had that fear of people because I got bullied so much. And if somebody said something to me, I kind of draw back. But it wasn't until I joined the military. And I felt like if my sister wouldn't have died, what my life would have been, you know, because I felt like that was the last testament of her loving me, you know. And fast forward to my wife, which I kind of damaged that relationship, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't really know how to love and express love and stuff like that. I thought I did, but I didn't. It was just, I was ruining her perception of what love was. But the good thing about it, you know, and Nicole touched on it, through prayer. Like, we had people praying for us. We had people, you know, like stepping in. And we both had mutual friends that really, really was like, hey, you guys can make it. You guys are the exception. Don't worry about nothing else. And I didn't know how I was going to, you know, make it through, but I held on to a few words that she said, and her name was Vanetta. And there were some other things that were said that kind of motivated me to do better. And right when, as me and my wife was trying to get to know each other, there were so many other forces in the way. This toxic relationship with my family and my marriage just wasn't working. And I got this word that I'm going to Iraq, right? And I'm like, and I think that at that point, my wife and I stopped, pumped the brakes, and we got to know each other. Now, granted, the one thing I'm not telling you guys is we had kids, she had kids, and I had a child. So we had this blended family, and that is a challenge within itself. So now we just added more stuff onto it, right? So Iraq, even though I hated going over there, I did not like being in Iraq. I didn't like the conditions. It was hot. Um, I grew up like on the south side of Chicago, and I spent time in Gary. So here, gunshots didn't really faze me. Explosions is something completely different, and their way of life, their culture. So I had to learn all this stuff, and that raised me up. I'm gonna just tell you that. That right there taught me how to be a man because I was in charge of other guys, you know. So I went through all that, come back home, and speaking of which, I got let me see where this flag is the flag they flew over my base, right, when I was in Iraq. And this is what they gave me when I came home as a tribute, right? And I think the biggest thing, the biggest blessing out of that was that I made it home, because there was a soldier that lost his life, I want to say 14 days before we came home, his last mission. And granted, 3 days before I was coming home, a bullet came through my room and damaged my locker and my camera. The camera hit me, and I thought I got shot or whatever. But I come home, and I'm just reflecting on all this stuff like, wow, okay, what's the next step? Well, the next step was coming back. And you know how if you look at the commercials and people are like, hey, thank you for your service, there were more people in the world just being appreciative of the time you spent serving as a soldier. But when it came to jobs and companies hiring you, I couldn't find a decent job to save my life. So now I'm at another crossroads. I have more struggle, like, what is going on? So now I have my family. I'm back with my family, and they need to know that, Pops can take care of this. My wife needs to know my husband can take care of this financially. I know, like, on the spiritual level, we start, she brought me back to church because I had abandoned, so she's been a great support system as far as that. But, fast forward to that, I actually went back to school. I went to college, and this is outside of all the things that I have. I'm gonna show you guys. This is one of my prized possessions right here. This is an award that the only way you can get this award, the faculty has to put you up for this award, and students, all of them have to agree. And it's just it says an acknowledgement of your exceptional accomplishments and outstanding performance. Your achievements are noteworthy and have inspired us all. Now, what I hadn't told you guys, my self-esteem was in the toilet. I didn't like myself. And I will share this with you guys. You're looking at somebody that was willing to end their own life. First, when my sister passed away, it was some other times where I felt like, when I came back from Iraq, it was hard to deal with, because I saw some stuff over there that I wasn't used to. That's just not normal. And it was times I just couldn't sleep because I just kept seeing the image. And I was like, there was a saying, like, man, I'd rather eat a bullet than to deal with this foolishness. And I think we lost more soldiers to suicide when we came back than we did overseas fighting against the enemy. And I'm telling you this, the only thing that kept me, first and foremost, I give credit to God, because he put my wife in my life. Then I had a few friends that I can consider friends, brothers, that held me up, that kept me going. And the other part of it was I knew that I had to do something, which brings me to this right here. 2018, I decided to do YouTube. I said, hey, you know what? I got to do something just to express myself, to kind of get it out and just talk. And it was started off as the Invicta lifestyle, because I like collecting watches. I got a ton of watches around. And maybe a year after, I called it the lifestyle, DA lifestyle, because now it's more than just watches. It's a bunch of people that you may be different here and there. I don't care what side of the birds you say you claim you on or what religion you belong to. All of us can agree on this little trinket or watch, and then we get to know each other, right? Just like Joy said, I believe the world can be healed if we just take a step back and just look at the stuff that's most important. Sometimes we need a catalyst. Sometimes we need stuff to get us to that point. And watches was my thing. So I like collecting watches. In other words, collecting people. You know what I'm saying? And at this point, I'm more happier in my life than I was some years back. So you're talking or listening to somebody that just wanted to end it. But the best part of people is, like, you have a gym. You can't expect everybody to be on board with it, but I'm telling you, I had some awesome people, even on here on YouTube, man. Burns and Joy. I got a opportunity to meet Joy in person, which was, man, it was a moment that I will never forget in my life. Ever, ever. So to say this, if you feel that life is, over with, you heard from Nicole already. She went through a lot of stuff, but, like, you see the smile on her face. I get to come on here every other week, and I'm like, yo, and that's me. I love it. You know what I'm saying? That's just where I am. So if you are at a point where life is tough, it's hard. I mean, all of us going through COVID. That's one thing that we can agree on. Everybody's under the strain of COVID and whatever else is going on in life. You can still make it through. You do have to have the right elements, like having some good people in your life. You have to do some research, and you have to take time to love yourself. At the end of the day, you have to have, even if you don't have a lot of people, you have to really care about you. You know what I'm saying? I told Verns about the scripture, Genesis 1:26, and it just basically states when, when God created us, he created us in his image, which to me was like a great love story. You know what I'm saying? He's like, hey, I want you to look like me. You don't get that from the rest of the world because there's a lot of differences out here and there's a lot of hatred in the world. But, I feel like stuff like this kind of flip it, man. You know what I'm saying? We can kind of turn it on its head. So with that being said, I'm also available with some stuff. I like talking if you don't know that by now. You can reach me here on Trap Vision 3D, you know what I'm saying, here on YouTube, and Trap Vision 3D on IG. All right, so that's my spiel. Thanks, Joy, for having me.
All right, now, guys, I hope you've been encouraged thus far. So far, we have someone that has overcome, someone who has overcome many addictions and being homeless. Then you have someone who has overcome being alone, feeling alone, being overseas, coming back to overseas, starting a family, and then having to leave the family you started. And then over all of that, overcoming depression and still having to be the man of the house. So I hope you are kind of understanding that wherever you are in this life, there is someone who is mirroring the same type of life that you live. May not be exactly, but they're same type. I mean, I think Verns and Trap have something in common. So without holding it back any more time, I will introduce you guys, maybe for the first time. I doubt it, because she's the YT cheerleader. None other than Verns Junk Closet.
Everybody in the chat, I am Vern of Vern's Junk Closet. So I want to, first we're going to talk about, first, Joy, thank you for having me. I hope you guys can hear me. I have on this mic here. What is a survivor? So that brings me to Beyonce's song, I'm a survivor, I'm not going to give up, I'm going to work harder, right? Okay. Surviving life, we all have to go through it, right? We have the trials and tribulations. But a survivor means overcoming obstacles, okay? Hurdles, traumatic events in life. You have to continue to function and prosper in spite of setbacks. A quality of a survivor: adaptability, resourcefulness, a desire to live. You cannot say, I don't want to die. You have to say, I want to live. You have to transpose those words. I'm going to be transparent with you guys, so get your tissues. I don't want to cry, but I was married and my husband passed away. Left me with 4 babies in New York City, in the projects of New York, down the street from Jay-Z. Speaking of Beyonce, down the street from Jay-Z, literally our apartment projects were side by side. So when he speaks of what he went through, that is true. But I had to survive. I had to keep going for 4 babies, right? So of course, I'm a young woman. I'm only 23. Eventually, I meet someone and we're in a relationship for like 6 months, total time frame. But during that 6 months, it turned out to be an abusive relationship. I never was in an abusive relationship before. I didn't know really what was going on because I'm still trying to get over being a widow. You know, you're trying to get through the grief, but then you have someone here that is helping you get over it at times. But come to find out, he was just being petty. And you have to learn how to get out of that dark place, because I know I was better than that. I did not deserve that. But baby, when I woke up, after I went to jail, I'm going to be honest, after I went to jail, I went to Central Booking for 3 days. Me, yes, Vern's Junk Closet, I went there. Then I clearly saw the difference. That no, this is not how my life is supposed to be. This is not what God had in store for me. You have to defend yourself by any means necessary. God has given you that free will for that purpose. You can decide to stay or to leave. And of course, you know your girl left. But after 6 months, you may say, oh, that was only 6 months. 6 months is a long time to other people. To me, it was a long time. When someone's putting their hands on you, you have to survive, because you don't know that one last time they put their hands on you, they choke you, they smack you, they push you, they hit you. You can hit your head and die tomorrow. You have to survive. You have to survive life. You have to survive that circumstance. You are worth it. I am worth it. We are worthy of love. We are worthy of financial success. We are worthy of not being oppressed. We as Black people have enough oppression against us than to let our own brother, who's supposed to be our king, who is supposed to be protecting us and guiding us, to beat us down. You have to survive. You are a conqueror. I'm a conqueror. It is not contingent on what happens to you in your life, but it's how you get up from that instance. It's not how you fall. It's how you get up and keep going, taking that next step. One step is still a step ahead. If you're trying to get up the ladder, you have to go up rung by rung by rung. Pull yourself up. Tap yourself on the shoulder. Let the world know you are a survivor. You are determined to win. I am determined to win. Survive, baby, survive. You can be successful in whatever you want. You stumble. You trip. But get up. Get up, people. Stop sitting in the mess. Stop staying in that dark place. You can go there. You can cry. You can yell. You can scream. Hit the pillow. But come out of it. We can't stay depressed. God wouldn't want us that way. You are resilient. You do have to accept what you cannot change. So in my instance, I couldn't change my husband being dead. There's nothing I could do about that. But I'm living. I'm living for these 4 babies. I have to go on. I am a survivor, baby. And you guys see me up here cheerleading. Why are you smiling? If you knew what I went through, what God has brought me through, you would understand why I smile, why I'm happy, why I have joy. Because I know where I came from. It's not where you're from, it's where you're at. It's where you're going. It's what you're looking at for your next part of your journey. Do not hold it in. Don't let anything hold you down. You do have to let your emotions out, and that's okay. It's okay not to be okay sometimes. But don't stay there. You are meant to come out of it. You are a survivor, baby. Get up. Show up. Know that you are worthy Know that I, Vern's Young Closet, see you. Know that I know that you're important because someone has told me that. They see me. I'm important. And I'm like, wow, really? You're a survivor. You matter. I matter. We all go through stuff, circumstances, but we can't stay there. We have to come out of it. In closing, I want to say, take care of yourself. Self-care on you. Get your hair done, get your nails done. Sit down and have a nice cup of tea. Go outside and listen to the birds. Stay prayerful. That is the most important thing, because if it wasn't for God bringing me through, I don't know where I would be. So yes, I give God all the worthiness. This is not me. This is, believe me, it's God. It's the glory of God. Celebrate your wins. Don't let anyone devalue you, and don't you dare devalue yourself, because you are a survivor. If you need help, reach out for help. If you want to reach out to me, hit me up on Instagram or through my email. Hit up Joy, hit up Trap, hit up Nicole. Reach out, because sometimes when you're in that depressed state, you need somebody that can see you from the outside, that can see it in a different aspect than what you're looking at, because you're looking at it as dark and dull, and they may see you as a light of the world. Reach out for help. Identify the feelings that you're going through and go through them. Don't be ashamed to cry, to feel sad, but don't stay there. Never stop dreaming. From 8 to 80, never stop dreaming. Whatever that dream is. There are a lot of people that are dead in their grave that have taken awesome dreams with them. But you're a survivor, baby. You can get through this. Stay purpose driven. Build yourself up and encourage yourself. Stop waiting for someone else to encourage you. Dig deep down inside, because God he built you with that. How does a baby know how to come out suckling, wanting milk? God has already implanted that in you before you even came here. Baby, you are a survivor. I'm a survivor, and we got this. I love you all. Reach out to me. I'm Vern, baby, your YT cheerleader. Hey! Of Vern's Junk Closet. I love you guys. Remember, you are a survivor. You can survive life. I did. And I hope this has helped someone get through that situation. Maybe you were in that situation. And I hope my words have helped you. And I love you guys. That's all I got to say. Thank you, guys.
Hey, guys. Now, I don't know if you caught what she said. Thank you, Verns, for sharing that. That was very, very transparent. Y'all, all of you have me like, got the stink face on. But like she said, a lot of people die with dreams. They have died with awesome dreams. A lot of people have died with awesome dreams. A lot of people have died with awesome dreams. Those are words from Vern's Junk Closet. You know what that is? If you die with awesome dreams, like, don't let all of that goodness go into the dirt. You know what I mean? I thank you, Verns, for sharing that. Like, that was really, really good. You have overcoming addiction. You have overcoming depression. You have overcoming just not giving up. Like, there's so much that has transpired so far. I'm full right now. I'm filled with, like, I feel motivated. I don't know about you guys, but I feel motivated. For everybody that has come in, I appreciate you coming in. I'm trying to listen more. So if I don't speak to you personally, don't hold it against me, but I appreciate you guys for being here, supporting this panel, and the actual idea of this whole surviving life. I want to introduce you guys, maybe for the first time, maybe not, to another awesome creator that I've met on YouTube along the way. He is very wise, in my opinion. And I appreciate the fact that he was able to say yes. So without further ado, I want to introduce you guys, maybe for the first time, to Zero the Infinite. Hey, Wonston. Hey, Nikki. Hey, the Positive Pusher. Hey, Hilda. What's going on?
Joy, is he muted?
He is. So let's actually go to our Catherine with Friends. He may have stepped away for a moment. So I'm going to introduce you guys to the ghetto motivational speaker, Catherine with Friends. So here we go, Catherine.
What happened? Oh. Hey, am I live?
You are all the way live, Miss Ghetto Motivational Speaker. Yes.
I just stepped out and went to the ladies' room. Excuse me, y'all. But anyway, thank you. Let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something. Evangelist Vernice, honey. That was wonderful. I mean, you had the sister going. That's nice. That was beautiful. But let me tell you something. What she said. Let me tell you something about dying. Some people dreams die with them. That's why you got a family. Put them on with him and keep it living. All right. But anyway, I am your ghetto motivational speaker on Tuesday. And I talk trash after dark on Thursday. Okay, but anyway, let me tell you just a very little about me. I'm not going to be here 10 minutes long. And let me tell you something. You got to catch up with me because I go here, I go there, I go everywhere. So anyway, I was born in 1956, but I'm in Virginia, but I've been raised up in Brooklyn, in Bedford-Stuyvesant, right? And let me tell you the difference between then and now. With this world was going on, that like drugs out there during that time, it was like really, really, it was really bad. But let me tell you the difference between then and now. The drug users back then, they used to take care of their children. You see, like the people that's on drugs in the 20th century now. I mean, they take from their children. It's so crazy. Okay, what I'm getting to, I'm more about the kids, and I see so many young adults going the wrong way, growing up their children. Ladies, first of all, if you're a single mother and you lonely, just think about that twice. You got kids. If you want to date, don't bring these people to your house. You got to be more careful. Be more careful when we have these children. Let's go for male and female. I am so tired of reading the newspaper what's going on with these children in this here world, and it needs to stop. It needs to stop. It really bothers me so much. And what else about me? I'm a retiree. I am 65 years young, and right now I'm just living my life a little bit. Matter of fact, a whole lot. And let me tell you something. I've been caught off guard. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, me, what I'm doing now, just taking life very, very easy. Just trying to do my little thing here. Um, Let me see what I was going to talk about. Oh, I'm so sorry, y'all. Things this another thing. As long as you have breath, you have options, y'all. If anything in this life y'all want to do, please do it. Please do it. And my biggest thing, like I said again, is these children. Just raise these kids properly. You got to excuse me again because I was not ready for this the other day. I was ready. My date was for the 16th. It's bad. I am so sorry, y'all. But anyway, I'm not going to stay here long because the sister wasn't ready. So I'm sorry, y'all. Anyway, thank y'all. Have a great day. Sorry.
It's all good, Catherine. How about, can you do this for me, Catherine, before you leave?
What is that?
So a lot of us in the chat may not have reached the age of retirement yet. Can you kind of just walk us through the process of what we can expect and like what emotions were you feeling? All of that, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, I was happy when I retired. I worked very hard for the past 20 some years. So when my retirement came up, it was just like, yes. I'm just taking life easy. Just making sure you're working, making sure your career that you make sure you save that money, get in what do you call it? A great pension plan. That's number one. And what else you were saying? Excuse me.
Also, like, how does it feel to like finally be retired, and like what can we expect, like feeling wise? Like, was it something that was just like, oh man, I just retired. Now what am I gonna do?
Well, my plans before the pandemic was to come. I was gonna go around certain job sites to help people find work because I know a lot of people in in Manhattan, and so I was going around there. I was going to direct people where they can go look for a job, stuff like that. But now you can't. It's not going to happen.
I hear that. Is it like, do you feel like now that you've entered this stage, like what's there left, or are you just like, whatever, I don't care?
What's there left?
Yeah, kind of like, I mean, we all all of us, I believe, expect to live to at least 80 or 90 years old. And knowing that you've already worked, you've been through youth, you've gone through pretty much working. Now that you're retired, like, does that ever cross your mind? Like, wow.
Put it like this here. I am retired and I am very, very happy. And the thing, I guess, like one lady wrote here, she said she's retired now and mentally, not financially. I can understand that too. That's why before you retire, you have to make whatever they got on it. You got to find these jobs that have good retirement packages for when that's the biggest thing is being financially when you retire, because if you don't have that, some people be working. I mean, till they like in their 70s and sick and old. Because before I retired, I have seen that. You understand? People going to work on canes. It's bad, but they had to do what they had to do. So if anybody, if you're young now, I think the best thing is to look for them things. What's the best? What's the best packages to retire at a certain age that you want to retire?
Will there be any traveling in your future?
Now, these days?
Yep.
I don't see it unless I'm going by car, and that's not going to be that far. You understand?
Yeah.
I'm not ready to get on airplanes and breathing with everybody like that yet. No,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not ready for that.
Do you and you know what, speaking of which, what you talked on earlier, you touched on how people were different. Like, has there been a real drastic change from the time you were younger to versus now? Like, do you feel like
Absolutely.
do you think it can ever get back to like the way it was back in the day? Like
Never,
the peaceful part.
never. Okay, let me tell you this story. Back in the day, people that was on drugs, right? I used to see them steal to buy their kids milk and cereal for them in the morning. You see kids, right? I mean, you see drug addicts now. They be taking their kids cereal and milk. You understand? It's a big difference. It's a big difference from then and now. Because even childcare, remember, okay, this is true. How many grandmothers are home these days to help you out with your kids? It's not that many. You know why? Because they have to work to pay this $15,000 and $200,000. I mean, the $15,000 and $2,000 rent. You understand what I'm saying? It's hard to find grandmas these days home. Used to babysitters used to be so easy back in the day at home because a lot of people didn't trust child care. You understand?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's life is different from then and now. It's different.
You think there'll ever be any trust like back then where you
I was about
can?
to say that. We used to keep our door unlocked. Can you keep your door unlocked now? No.
Some places you still can, but majority, no.
Where?
I said majority, no. Crazy.
Exactly. Exactly.
Does it like, I'm gonna ask you one more question. Is it disheartening to see that how it's drastically gone from then to now?
Very.
Mm,
I think the kids suffer more now than ever.
mm,
You understand? They do. See a lot of, it's a lot. I don't. It's a lot. That's why sometimes I don't even like even reading the paper.
mm.
You always see it's always a child involved. Why are the kids all involved in what's going on these days? I mean, back in the day when I was growing up, we used to skate in the street, play hockey. I mean, we used to play hockey in the street, skelly and all that stuff. Now, jump rope. When was the last time you see somebody actually outside in front of their door jumping rope? You don't see that. Playing in the streets, you don't see that.
Hmm.
Life is real different.
Yep, that's true.
Life is real different. And I'm sorry, Vern. Be the difference because I wasn't ready. I just came in the door. I'm like, oh my God. I
Don't
thought
worry
it
about it.
was 16. I thought it was 16. Sorry about that.
Don't
Next
worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I do better next time.
Don't worry about it. I mean, there is no such thing as better or worse. What you shared is what you shared. And hopefully, not, I hate saying that word, hopefully. Um, I know somebody can relate. And for me personally, just hearing, the transitions part, because, it's one thing to transition from being an adolescent to an adult, but then it's like, you kind of like, I can't speak for everybody else, but like I want to pause before I get older. I don't want to experience. I don't want to know what it is. I don't want to experience, even though we all are getting older. Like when I was a teenager, I was like, I don't want to become an adult because I was like, adults, they're boring. They're not doing anything. They don't want to have fun. You know what I mean? So now that I'm an adult in my ageless age, I was just like, I don't think I would ever want to go back to being a teenager again. Like you have so many restrictions and your mindset isn't even all that mature yet. So I don't know. I think it's very interesting to hear everyone's perspective. I appreciate your perspective. It was, to me, it was very good.
My
So
thing is just grow old gracefully.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Because it's going to come. You know, God bless you with it. It's going to come. You just take that one day at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Like some people don't like getting old. You understand? Like I don't like gray hair, but then I had to stop fighting it. I said, let it go. You understand? I had to let it go because it's more stronger than I am. The
Mm-hmm.
more I fight it, the stronger it comes. So it comes with age. What can I do? Some
Right.
people are born with it, but no, mine just start coming, coming, and coming. This is what Kiana wrote. She wrote, it seems like young girls are having children. It used to be shameful to be pregnant. It's becoming the norm. See, but back in the days too, please, this is the same thing then as it is now. There's no difference really. Pregnancy. Only it's just the difference. Just gotta watch your children. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Your kids. You gotta talk to them. Yeah,
I know that's right.
yeah. But getting
Um,
but getting old, it's wonderful. It
yeah,
I did, like I never thought that I would reach 65,
right.
and I thank God that I am. I'm not doing too bad for 65.
Yeah. Yeah, look at you. You do your little dating dating after 60. I
Well, look,
like that. I like the little dresses and the little, things that you do over there. So tell everybody where they can see you. You have a lot of different outlets. So just let everybody know where they can find you.
Catherine with friends. Catherine with friends on like I was saying on Tuesday night I have ghetto motivational speaker. Thursday I talk trash after dark. It's more my channel is more about I want everybody to come over. We talk about what's happening now. Everybody being real. Let's talk. A lot of people don't like being real. Sometimes it's kind of too much for people. It's a little bit too much for people. You understand? Because I tell you this, I had to sis. I'll tell you this one story. A young lady, she asked me about dating married men, and I told her, I said, look, leave that alone because it's not gonna work for you. So I ain't never seen her no more. You understand? Hey, some some people don't like hearing the truth.
Hmm.
Hmm.
All right. Well, I appreciate you.
I
Um,
appreciate you too.
yes, stick around. Stick around. Do not go anywhere, okay?
All right.
All right, guys, that was Catherine with Friends. Let us go check to see if Zero is ready yet. Let me check on that. So, again, if you guys don't know who Zero is, go ahead and check on him and let's see what he has to say about whatever he wants to share. Zero, are you there? He is not there. Zero is not there. There's a couple of things that could have happened. He could have had some technical difficulties, but nonetheless, I still appreciate him for wanting to share whatever he had to share. He can always come up another day, but I want to bring back up whoever's left on the panel just to do two things, just to reintroduce themselves, to say their last leaving you with something inspirational to take home with you and to think about as the new week starts. So I want to introduce you guys again and bring back our panel. We have Vern's Junk Closet, we have Catherine with Friends, we have Nicole, and then we have Trap, who was here just a moment ago. So you guys go ahead and just one by one tell everybody who you are and what you do on YouTube and how they can follow you, all of that good stuff. So why don't we start with you, Catherine, since you were just up?
All right. I'm Catherine with Friends again. Like I said, my channel is all about truth. If you can't deal with the truth, you better get out the kitchen when you come to my channel. That's it.
Go ahead, Nicole.
Life Nicole Marie. Find me on Instagram and also a Facebook page. What I do over here, variation of channel, we do variety of stuff from cooking, different challenges, to going live, motivational cleaning, a variety of anything. Whatever you can think of, I'm sharing my life with you guys as well.
I know that's right. Verns, you can go on ahead and let everybody know how they can reach you on many different platforms. You're just muted.
Yes, sorry about that. Hey guys, so I'm Vern of Vern's Junk Closet. You can definitely reach me on YouTube, my favorite platform. And also I have a second channel via work, and it is so blessed by God, and I'm so excited to be doing it. So you can reach me on Instagram at, can you hear me?
Yes.
Instagram at either Vern's Junk Closet or the Empress 19. And also on Facebook under the same name, it is Vern's Junk Closet. So what I like to say is, when you come to my channel, you will get elevation, you will get engagement, you will get inspiration, but most of all, you will be elevated, because I want you all to be uplifted and loved when you come to my platform. Don't quit. Never stop dreaming. Remember, no one is perfect, so don't beat yourself up too bad, and keep moving forward. Know that you are worthy of whatever you put your mind to. Let no one devalue you. Okay? I love you guys. Love and light. That's all I have to say about that.
Trap. 3D vision.
Yo, I was having some technical difficulties back here. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Hey, so here's the deal. I was inspired by, all the conversations, and I just want to give flowers where flowers is due. I listen to Burns in the morning. Y'all need to go check her out on IG, getting up in the morning before she get her bagels and her coffee. Man, she be spitting some stuff out there, man. Like, I've already heard some of this, what she shared tonight during one of those messages, and I didn't know her background like that, man. And some other stuff she hadn't shared on here, but I know, and I feel it all the way, because her and my sister had something in common. But I'll leave that for something else. I would just say this. I said it before. You have to love yourself, and if you don't, I mean, I guarantee you, I don't believe the Most High will just leave you out here by yourself. You gotta believe in yourself, and if you don't, somebody else will, because I got some people up here on this panel that have been pushing me. I wanted to give up. I wanted to give up YouTube. I was like, man, I don't even do this no more. Burns about came from where she was, and like, hey, bro, what's wrong with you? Joy was like, what? They both had that New Jersey, New York attitude with me too. I had some dope people in my life, man, and I still got dope people in my life. And it may not be a lot. You don't need a whole bunch, you know what I'm saying? And I even heard from my sister over here talking about how, the kids are now, and I can attest to that. Like people that's out there, that's addicted to something, it's a little different now. But the biggest thing right now is the push. You have to push. And there was something that was told to me before. Whatever you're trying to do, if you can imagine it and you share with somebody and they look at you and either tell you that you crazy or look at you like, man, whatever, you on the right track. Because your greatest gift for you to do something should scare you. You know what I'm saying? So let alone the people that you're telling it to. Like, I got goals that I want to do here on this channel. You know what I'm saying? And some people like, yeah, that's not going to happen. You don't need them people. You don't need naysayers. If they not giving you love, like what Vern say, love and light, if they're not giving you some type of light or helping you along, that's not the right person for you. They haven't matured enough. They may be of, some benefit later in life, but right now, you need something that's gonna help you along the way, man. So that's all I want to say. You can find me over here, you know what I'm saying, on the lifestyle, or you just type in Trap Vision 3D, man. I pop up everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You can follow the same thing on IG and Travis on Facebook, Travis Wiley on Facebook. So that's all I got to say. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. So I appreciate everyone that was here. Thank you, everybody that came out to the second annual YouTube conference. We the People Presents. This has been a good evening for me, at least. I know I can say that. I appreciate everybody that came on the panel. It's been a good evening of just hearing different stories and just encouraging me to like keep on moving. Anyway, whatever you do with the rest of your evening, your morning, or your night, make sure you're doing something to be the difference for yourself and for your community. So have a good night, everybody. Thank you so much for coming, and continue to do you the best way.